Hello guys, my name is Blair. I'm actually a lurker in these stories, but I never thought I would have one of my own. I don't think any of us have ever imagined ourselves in this situation, but you never know what fate has in store for you. This is exactly what happened to me. My husband, Howard, was the best partner I could ask for. He was caring and had a very good reputation among his peers. We met at a work event and hit it off immediately. Howard and I had a lot of common interests, which drew us closer. We dated for about 5 years before deciding to tie the knot. Frankly speaking, he was my best friend. I couldn't imagine my life without him. One thing that I must mention is the fact that he was very close to his mother. His dad passed away when he was young, so it was always his mom and him. His mother, Miranda, was actually speech impaired and couldn't speak, but she was a very kind woman. At least that's what I thought. In our very first meeting, she was quick to sing praises of me. We communicated through texts since I didn't know sign language. She said, "I'm so glad to finally meet you, Blair. You have no idea how excited I am. Howard always speaks praises of you, and I can see why. You are an amazing woman." "I'm very flattered, Miranda. I'm glad you like me, and we are going to have a great relationship. I lost my mother 10 years back, and you feel a lot like her." "Blair, I do have a feeling that we will be very close. I always wanted a daughter, and it looks like I finally have one." Indeed, Miranda and I had a great bond. We spend a lot of time together, even without Howard. While I was pretty well off, Howard and Miranda were not as much. So I tried to help them out as often as possible. I seriously felt a lot of love towards them, so it all made sense to me. They quickly became my family other than my sister, Erin. For some reason, Erin was a little weary of them. However, she could see that I was happy, so she didn't say anything about them. Howard's reaction to Erin getting her inheritance has some part to play. When Erin and her husband suddenly purchased a new house and 2 new cars, he was pretty shocked about it. Howard said, "Wow, Erin, you did splurge on your car and house. I had no idea your job paid so much money." "It wasn't my job, Howard. We came into some money very recently, so we decided to change our lifestyle a bit." "Are you sure it's not something illegal? I mean, normal people like us do have to work hard to have this kind of lifestyle. Hell, most of us can just dream about it." "There is nothing illegal going on, Howard. She just got the rest of her inheritance from our parents. It was in a trust fund until she turned 30. "Really, Blair? Wow, that must be very convenient. Do you have a trust fund like that?" "I do, actually. We were given the house straight away, but the rest is put in a fund until we turn 30. I will get mine once I turn 30 as well." "Oh my God, we will be so rich. I guess I won't have to work anymore. You can just pay for us. I wish you could get it sooner. It would have been so much better." Erin looked really uncomfortable at his words. Even I felt like his words were a little off. Still, we laughed about the situation and let it go. Ever since then, Howard had intentionally made me pay more towards dates and gifts. He even told me to buy Miranda expensive gifts since I had the money. He was constantly making plans of living a luxurious life and not working again. Despite all these red flags, I chose to ignore him. My sister scolded me about revealing my inheritance like that. She said, "Blair, you should have thought better. You know the reason our parents didn't give us the money straight away. They wanted to protect us from getting tricked." "Relax, Erin. It's just Howard. I told about the inheritance. He's my boyfriend. We're talking about getting engaged soon. He would have known eventually." "You saw how he reacted to the news. You could have waited, Blair. How are you sure he won't marry you for money? He has always regarded you as an ATM anyway." "Come on, Erin, it's not like that. Howard loves me and I love him too. I don't mind spending money on him. He isn't forcing me to give him money. Don't worry, it's not a problem. Sometimes I wish I had listened to Erin. I was so busy defending Howard that I ignored her words. I overlooked all the red flags and decided to be with him. People make mistakes, and I ended up making a big one. I was stupid and desperately wanted a family. Howard and his mom were perfect for my dream family. They loved me and I loved them as well. So I was instead blown away by their affection and love. Fast forward a year. Howard proposed to me and I said yes. We were already planning to move into the house I inherited from my parents. Since Howard didn't have a house of his own, it was decided that he would live with me. But as the wedding drew near, he started to act a little off. When I asked him about his problems, he said, "Blair, there's something that you need to know about. Mom's lease is about to expire in a few months. After we get married, I will have to live with you. Would you mind if she moves in permanently? You know she can't speak, and I don't like her being alone and vulnerable." "I can understand your situation, Howard. Miranda can absolutely move in with us. I like her a lot, and she seems very sweet. Since she is like a mother to me, I don't mind it at all." "Thank you so much, Blair. You have no idea how relieved I feel. I was really scared to leave Mom alone. It gives me nightmares to think she's without help. Frankly speaking, I never thought living with Miranda would be a problem. She was a pretty chill woman, and as I've said before, she loves me a lot. So I thought I wouldn't have any problems. Thinking about it now, I don't know if her moving in with us was an advantage for me or not. After I and Howard got married, Miranda ended her lease and moved in with us. My house had 4 bedrooms, so space wasn't an issue at all. We all had our privacy and even some extra space for guests. Together, I thought I had a very happy family. I never considered Miranda as a mother-in-law. I always considered her like my own mom. After years of being without a mom, it finally felt like I had everything in the world. Erin, on the other hand, wasn't so convinced about my happiness. When I visited her alone, she used to warn me about Miranda and Howard. She always said, "Sis, I know that you're very happy right now, but I think you should be careful. There are a lot of warning signs around you. You seem to not notice them at all." "What do you mean, Erin? I don't understand what you're talking about." "Look, I can see that you love Miranda and Howard, but you might be getting a little carried away. When you are not looking, I have seen Miranda make faces at you. Even Howard supports her and laughs. I might not understand sign language, but body language also tells a lot." "You might be a little mistaken, Erin. Howard and Miranda are genuinely nice people. Yes, they may not be from our economic background, but they're still good people." "I don't know, Blair. I don't mind their economic status, but something seems really fishy. I just want you to be careful. Why don't you learn sign language? That way you won't be excluded from their conversations." "That's a great idea, Erin. You know what? Her birthday's coming up next month. I'm sure I can learn some basic sign language by then. It will be a good surprise for her." Then and there, I promised myself that I would learn sign language. Miranda and Howard communicated in sign language pretty frequently. I was starting to feel left out, so I thought learning it would be a great idea. I did plan to live with them forever, plus it's always a good idea to learn ASL. With that in mind, I began to learn sign language. I didn't even tell Howard because I wanted it to be a surprise. I think that learning the language really saved me. About 2 weeks before Miranda's birthday, I accidentally caught Miranda and Howard having a conversation in ASL. I was going to call them for dinner, but was instead greeted by a very strange conversation. By then, I had already learned a good bit of sign language, so I had no doubt what they were talking about. Miranda said, "I am glad Blair doesn't know sign language. That stupid brat is so annoying. If only she knew what we think of her. God, I'm tired of acting nice to her. When will this torture end? It won't be long, Mom. Just wait for 1 year. As soon as she gets her inheritance, we can claim half of it. I will try to trick her into signing it for me. I doubt she would be convinced that easily. She's not as stupid as we think. That girl is a freaking witch. Don't worry, Mom. If she doesn't sign it away, I will divorce her. Then she'll be forced to give me half of her inheritance. I'm planning to quit my job 2 months before she turns 30. That way, she will be giving me alimony as well. That's a great idea, Howard. I do have a clever son. After we get our hands on Blair's money, we will finally get rid of her. Then we can say good riddance to this worthless woman. It will be good riddance. Maybe with that money, we'll finally buy that house you've been eyeing for a while. I bet we will still have leftovers. I was shocked to see what they were saying. Here I was trying to learn sign language so that I can develop a better bond with my in-laws. Instead, I just discovered that my husband and mother-in-law planned to steal my inheritance. My whole life felt like a lie. I was mentally beating myself up for falling to such a horrible man. Hell, I also hated myself for telling him about my inheritance. I couldn't hold my ears, but didn't want them to see me crying. They hadn't noticed my presence yet, so I quickly took my phone and went to my sister's place. When I reached her place, she was kind of shocked to see me in such a condition. At that point, I started to cry on her front porch. She brought me in and calmed me down. After I was done crying, she said, "My God, sis, what happened to you? Why are you crying like this? Tell me what happened immediately." "Erin, you were right about Miranda and Howard. They are not good people. All this while, they have been plotting to take my inheritance. Howard only married me for money. Erin, even Miranda hates me." "Are you serious? Right now? How did you know all this?" "I saw them speaking ASL today. Now that I know the language, I could make out what they were saying." I went on to tell Erin what Miranda and Howard talked about. Retelling everything again sent me into a crying fit that took time to subside. But the second round of crying brought a lot of clarity to my head. I was immediately planning to get back at them. Erin said, "I hope you're not thinking about letting them go just like that. Don't tell me you will continue this marriage. I'll be disappointed in you." "No, Erin, there is no way I will stay married to that scum. And I don't plan on letting them get away with everything. They think I'm a worthless and powerless woman. I'll show them just how clever I can be." "That's my sister. Do you have a plan, Blair? I promise I will help." "Yes. I'm going to throw a big birthday party for Miranda. Then I will reveal her true face to everyone. Howard is also going down with her. I will make sure of it." A plan was already forming in my mind. All I had to do was work around the details and exit it perfectly. My sister Erin was also a huge help during this time. Her husband is a cop, and she promised to be on standby if things escalated or went south. I was so disillusioned by them that I was ready to face anything. I did tell them that I was arranging something. I texted Miranda. "Hey, Miranda, you know that your 60th birthday is only a few days away. I'm so excited and I want to plan a big party for you. It's a gift from me, actually." "Oh, really, Blair? That is so sweet. I don't know what I have done to deserve such a sweet daughter-in-law." "It's nothing, Miranda. You deserve the party I'm planning. Why don't you send me a list of invites so that I can make sure everyone you love is invited?" "That's a great idea, Blair. I do want my friends and family members to come. It is a milestone birthday anyway. I'll send over a list from my side." She did send me a rather long list of invites. It looks like she did have some good plans to mooch off me. She invited freaking 50 people. Even Howard invited 20 of his friends and colleagues for some reason. His excuse was that I could afford it. I was slowly starting to see just how much they took advantage of me. I was prepared. I was also collecting some awesome videos through our security cameras. On the day of the party, every guest we invited showed up. Both Miranda and Howard were very happy. Me and Erin were happy as well, but for other reasons. I had some really important papers in my bag and things would get interesting real soon. After the cake was cut, I decided to make a speech. I said, "Ladies and gentlemen, I'm so glad you could show up to our party today. Thank you for taking time from your busy schedules to celebrate Miranda's birthday today. Since everyone is already here, I would like to give Miranda my special gift." "You got a special gift for Mom? On top of everything? That's so nice." "It sure is, Howard. Why don't we find out what my gift is?" I quickly faced Miranda and Howard and signed to them something. I simply signed, "I know your plans about my inheritance. Now, watch me destroy your reputation in front of everyone. This is my gift to you, Miranda. Howard will get one as well." After I signed with them, the two of them looked shocked. They looked around and could see that some people could figure out what I said. Most of Miranda's friends knew sign language, so they could make out what I said. Miranda and Howard quickly signed to beg me to stop. I smirked and started to say and sign. "So, guys, last month I decided to learn ASL to surprise my mother-in-law. I had good intentions and only wanted to develop a deeper relationship with her. But when I learned the language, I found something shocking. Here, watch this video play in the background." "Blair, please stop. We can talk about this. You don't have to show and tell people. Please listen to me." "You can't insult me like this, Blair. Our reputation will be destroyed. Don't do this." I paid them no heed. The video played and people saw just how horrible Howard and Miranda were. I recorded them having some very mean conversations about me. They called me a spoiled brat, a worthless witch, among many more. They also discussed more on how they would steal my inheritance. People who knew ASL were horrified by the video. People who didn't know ASL were provided with subtitles that I made myself. It was glorious. When the video ended playing, everyone looked pretty pissed by what they saw. Howard and Miranda had a habit of acting nice to people, so they were really mad to see this side of them. I then took the opportunity to say, "Now that you have received your special gift, there are two more things waiting for you: divorce and eviction papers. I expect your things to be out of my house within a month. And Howard, we are done. You can't do this to us. You can't divorce me and kick us out. This is all a misunderstanding." Yes, we were just joking around. Don't be so rash with your decisions. We can talk this out. I will apologize and so will Howard. You have already spoiled our reputation. Is that not enough? No, that is not enough. You wanted to take away everything from me. Today, I will take everything from you. Just wait and watch. Saying that, I gave them the legal papers and went inside the house. My sister Erin apologized to the guests on behalf of me and asked them to enjoy the rest of the party. They actually started to berate my husband and mother-in-law. My husband's colleagues gave him dirty looks while Miranda's friends literally just left. One of them also said that they would never speak to her again. Erin told me everything later. She also stayed back with me to make sure the duo didn't try anything stupid. As the days passed, Miranda and Howard were shunned by everyone. We live in a small town and the community is pretty close-knit. People here don't like backstabbing witches and lying scums. So Miranda and Howard's antics were not welcome here. Everyone avoided them to save their own reputation as well. Howard was actually finding it difficult to work at his job. They begged me to change my mind and let them stay. Howard was the one who did the most begging. He promised to love me and change his ways. Surprisingly, he even offered to kick his mother out. That made me laugh, but Miranda didn't find it so amusing. By the end of the month, Howard and Miranda were having full-blown fights in ASL. It was rather fun to watch. Howard believed that I would have stayed with him if Miranda had left the house. Miranda was offended that he would think of abandoning her. I guess the two saw that a good catch like me was getting away. Anyway, the eviction month was up and I had to call the police to get them out. No relative was willing to take them in, so they had to take a hotel. After a week, Howard quit his job and moved away. They couldn't bear the constant stink eyes and jabs of people. A relative far away took them in for a month, but not more. They tried to beg me again, but I refused to house them. Howard then signed the divorce papers because he no longer had the money for a lawyer. So our divorce was finalized soon. Now they are struggling to get by while I am enjoying my newfound inheritance all by myself.